most respected chief guest of today's function, Professor Dr. Arivudai Nambi, Director of the IQAC as well as Head of the Department of Entomology, most respected and beloved Professor and Head of the Department of Political Science and Public Administration, Professor Dr. Subramanian, beloved Seminar Director, Dr. S. Sujitra Verma, the Organizing Secretary, Dr. P. Saravana Kumar, colleagues, delegates, researchers and students, a very pleasant evening to one and all assembled here. You know well that I belong to the Department of English. My exposure to the English language and literature is more or greater than my exposure to political science as well as public administration. But at the same time, I must tell you the fact that unconsciously I have been exposed to, I have been familiar with political science as well as public administration through the great literary works which I have read for more than 3 decades, and also as a citizen of this great nation, India. So let me share with you my view or my ideas about national integration as well as the hurdles or the obstacles which are on the way to achieve national integration, or in a larger context, international integration, which is of utmost importance to every one of the human beings across the world. As you know well, national integration is the common identity, among all the citizens of a country. You know the meaning of integration. Integration is nothing but unity. Unity despite the unavoidable, despite the indispensable diversity among the unique individuals of a nation who belong to different regions, who belong to different castes, different communities, different races. So despite all these differences, I could very well tell you that all these differences are man-made differences. These are not God-given differences. When we were born, we were not born with these differences or these distinctions. These are all man-made distinctions or barriers which are an obstacle for people to live together unitedly. Now, we may belong to any religion, any caste, any race, any community. That is the right of every individual, that should not be questioned, that need not be questioned. It's my right to practice Hinduism. It's the right of my friend to practice either Christianity or Mohammedanism. That's the privilege. That's the freedom. That's the right of every one of the citizens of every country of the world. But the problem arises when I make an attempt to prove, or when I tell others, when I tell myself that my religion is superior to another religion, that my caste is superior to another caste, that my caste is inferior. As you find in the US even today in the 21st century, the experience of the African Americans who are even today considered to be inferior to the Europeans, considered to be inferior to the whites. Okay, as I have already told you, even today, when I was in the US, I had a brief conversation with one of the security guards who has openly told me that the whites haven't changed in their discrimination against the blacks living in the US, despite the fact that at that time the great nation, the superpower, was ruled by a black man, Barack Obama. So if we avoid, if we eliminate, if we free ourselves from all these discriminations, these prejudices, these biases, I don't think national integration, perfect, flawless, pure, 100% national integration is not far off from us. Now, at this juncture, I would like to give you a few illustrations. One is from the life of Mother Teresa. You know the greatness of Mother Teresa as a social worker. In one of her interviews, she was asked this question: are you here for conversion? Are you here for conversion of people? The reply given by Mother Teresa was really wonderful as well as interesting. She immediately responded, my job, my business is not to convert people from one religion into another. That's not my job. That's not my business. I am here not for conversion. I am for taking people closer and closer to God through real social service, through human beings showing their interest in the welfare of the suffering humanity. Okay, this is the true religion. Okay, this is the true religion, and this is the true religion which we must practice, across the world. Now, the second example is Rabindranath Tagore. You know the supreme power of the great Indian poet, the multifaceted personality Rabindranath Tagore. In one of his essays, he says this is about internationalism. Internationalism includes nationalism also. I mean national as well as international integration. Tagore says, in fact, he talks about politicians. Now, I don't refer to all politicians. I don't say that all politicians are dirty-minded people. Now, he refers to certain politicians who are very particular about the personal gains. So, addressing these politicians, Rabindranath Tagore says, those who cannot see beyond their noses, those who cannot see beyond their noses, talk of nationalism and internationalism. This is, his fun. He ridicules such politicians who talk about very great things, who talk about national integration, who talk about international integration, but don't practice. I tell you this because we live in India, but we are divided by regions. We are divided by languages. We are divided by several other things. If we are divided by all these man-made divisions, I don't think we won't be stronger in future. Now, the third, I would like to give you a positive example. And this is also my personal experience. I have known a family for more than 4 decades. Ever since I joined ABC College as a student of BA English and Literature. And my friend's name is Shahul Hamid. Shahul Hamid. He is extraordinary. He is brilliant. He did BA English, right? My friend, my classmate. And he also did his AMIE, engineering, which is more difficult than the regular BE engineering, Bachelor of Engineering program offered in several universities across the world, right? He completed. And he joined Annamalai University for his post-graduation. Now he is in the US. He is a very popular engineer. Now, the reference is to him because, he is a Muslim. He celebrates this family, right? This family, the family of Shahul Hamid, every year, even today, celebrates not only Ramzan, but also Pongal. Okay? I tell you this because if you can see beyond the barrier, if you are able to destroy the man-made fence, the man-made wall, if you could see beyond these barriers, you will understand that you are, after all, a human being. You are here for a very short period. You are here temporarily. Now, as Shakespeare says, we are only actors. Our period of life on this planet Earth is very short, and in no time, we do not know, tomorrow we won't be here. Who knows it? Then why should we divide ourselves, by taking into consideration these man-made distinctions? That's my question. That is the question of every one of us assembled here. Now, at this juncture, also I would like to tell you to be very cautious about, the elements, as you know well, right? Because you all specialize in political science and public administration. The foreign elements, as well as elements within the nation. Some people sell themselves. They are not patriotic. They don't tell themselves that they belong to this great nation, India. We must all be proud of being Indians. Only then we could be happy. We could find a way to achieve a harmonious existence, not only for us, but also for posterity, the future generations. Okay, my humble request here is that we must all be united. We must live together despite different faiths, different beliefs, different man-made barriers. Then our country will certainly be greater than any other country in the world. Thank you for the opportunity.